Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. What we're going to look at in this video is a new deep dive into Vudu. Vudu has been with us in the streaming community for years, having originally started as part of an offer through Walmart that digitized DVDs and Blu-rays and allowed you to basically build a library that you could access via, originally it's Vudu box. They sold their own little Vudu box that just did that. Years later, or actually a lot less than years later, they stopped using the box itself and just threw apps on things like the Roku here. And Vudu on the Roku and other streaming devices was born. As it moved on, it started adding more and more features, which includes free TV, free movies, at least archived on-demand stuff. In order to add it, you just go to your service, whatever streaming service provider you use, and look for Vudu. We've already got it in place, so we're just going to go on into the channel. You'll notice it says Fandango now, Vudu Fandango. That's because Fandango bought Vudu. Now, if you've used Vudu before, you're going to notice a much more streamlined look for this app. And that was one of the things that really caught us. It's been redesigned. It's got this nice vertical menu on the side, along with a horizontal menu across the top. There's a new slider sort of thing that shows you highlights of the kinds of content that are available. And below that, you see the section, deals, rent, kids, TV. Those are more kind of quick jump-in sorts of buttons that allow you to find things according to sort of some pre-packaged content. Now, why would somebody use something like Vudu instead of just streaming things? Because at this point, there's places to stream Harry Potter. There's places to stream Marvel movies, right? The reason people like Vudu is because it allows people to create their own library of digital content that they can access whenever they want without any worry that a movie is going to drop off of a service. You see here that Vudu puts everything together for you in this franchises section so that you can jump in and you can check out. If you want to own all of the Alien movies that have come out, you can do so. You have your bundled price, $48.99. That's really not a bad price for 6 movies. Some of those Aliens movies was pretty cool. But this way, this is your movie. You don't have to worry about having a service like, say, Hulu, which has the Aliens movies right now, or at least most of them. You don't have to worry about going to watch it and then all of a sudden it isn't there anymore. This franchise section is pretty extensive. There's actually tons and tons of different franchises out there, aside from the ones that you think are, the ones that just pop in your head as far as franchises go. Obviously, you've got things like these, the Marvel movies and the DC movies and things like that. But in general, there are rows and rows and rows of things that are available for good bulk prices, if that is what you want to do, including a whole section of just Godzilla stuff that brings together collections from the legendary movies, which are the most recent ones, all the way back to the Showa era. Now, getting back to the main menu page, there is more to it than that one little section, as you saw earlier. If you want to get more of a full feel for what this service offers, this is the section for you, this categories section. It's going to show you everything available, from the highest quality video to things like the franchises, which we were just looking at. You can find things that are for free. You can find things that you can order ahead of time. If you want to jump back into that section of franchises, you can. So there it is where we just were. But there are 42 categories here of everything from stuff like the page to screen section, which actually shows you which of the popular movies out there were actually based on books, as well as a lot of other categories to just get you going. Did you know Field of Dreams was based on a book? So that category has a lot to offer, and it allows you to get a feel for the scope of Vudu as far as both free and paid services. But I'll bet you want to know more about what you can watch for free on this in the first place. So let's jump into the section for the free content. You just bounce down to the end over here on the left, and this is the free section. The free section is pretty easy to navigate. You see that it starts off with some things on the top, including stuff that's going to be going away soon, as well as the most watched content for free. So that's going to be based on their statistics for what people are watching. So right now it says that there are 5 movies available that won't be available much longer. So get it while it's hot, right? Otherwise, the section is broken down with some quick launch buttons at the top, along with the whole browser section full of every single genre that they offer. I like how colorful it is. I like that it has, both the words, like adventure for the genre, along with, a helpful visual cue for what it is that you're jumping into here. There's 23 different categories, and the things are broken down pretty well. I do think that there's some kind of a cross-pollination that, that doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes, in that, you'll have some little children's cartoon movie like this Sergeant Stubby, along with something like McClintock or, Tombstone or something like that, where, those aren't, I don't think somebody's going to be looking for one and then find the other and go, oh, well, actually, I was in the mood for that. But that's the way things go when you jumble everything together in a category. At least it's pretty easy to bounce around. And when you're ready to zoom in, if what you really want, of course, is kids TV, boom, you jump in on kids TV. And then it just has all of these children's programming options. And you want to know, everything that is free, it says free with ads. And that's helpful. That's helpful even when you're in other sections of Vudu, that if something is free with ads, it says so. Christian viewing inspirational stuff is something that's been growing for a long time. But in general, I find that this is a pretty easy free section to use. And it's got a lot of things out there that, maybe you haven't heard of, or maybe you didn't know were free. So whether you've never heard of Vudu, or if it's just been a long time since you've checked out the app, you should go ahead and add it, check it out, see if there's anything you like out there. I can't guarantee that you're going to find a deal that you want, but you certainly might. It's nice to own things now and then, isn't it? Otherwise, its free content is pretty plentiful. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please share our video, give this video a like, and subscribe to our channel so that we can help find content for people to enjoy in the cord-cutting and streaming world. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.